Hello, welcome to the video. So happy that you're here. Overthinking, analysis paralysis, anxiety, fear, psychological impediments, getting in your own way. You are going to get so much out of this live coaching call with an amazing individual just like you, trying to stop overthinking about everything and getting in your own way. I just can't wait to get into this. There's going to be some links in the description down below if you want to learn more and you'd like to check out some more free content that's going to help you with your mindset, your anxiety, business branding, etc. Even if you would like to work with me, there's opportunities for that as well. But I just forget about all that. Don't even worry about that right now. Let's get into this coaching call. It's going to be amazing, phenomenal. Make sure you stick around because there's so many nuggets, such a breakthrough and revelation that's discovered through this. I just can't wait for you to check it out. So let's just stop talking and get right into it. When you say psychological impediments, and I just want to say one thing right now that's really, really important, Robert, and that is this. First of all, I appreciate your courage. I thank you for your courage. This is the biggest impediment. It's the major obstacle. It's the major barrier for any human being to successfully endeavor upon anything in life. Personal, professional, doesn't matter. New business, new career, doesn't matter. New relationship, networking, pitching your idea, interviewing, doesn't matter. Talking to the girl that you want to marry or the man you want to marry or whatever, doesn't matter. This is the ultimate barrier to all of your objectives. And so I just want to start by saying, you're not alone. Please understand that. This is something that afflicts everybody, including yours truly, who's been studying the mind for over 30 years, probably longer than you've been alive. Like, Robert, how old are you again? I'm sorry, 32?
Yeah, 32.
32, yeah. So I don't know if you know this about me, Robert. I know you've kind of checked out some of my content, but I suffered from debilitating anxiety and depression as a young man. From the ages of 18 to 29. It got so bad, Robert, that I was scared to leave the house. I shut myself off from my family, my friends. A lot of my friends didn't understand what was happening to me. They took it personal. They got very angry with me. Like, why are you not hanging out with us anymore? It was a really, really tough time. It almost got to the point where I felt like Hamlet, where I was, to be or not to be. That is the question. So I want you to know, first of all, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a clinician, but I feel like I'm better in a lot of ways than those guys because not only did I research, study, I read every single book on the planet about this guy. I studied Western psychology, cognitive behavioral therapy, exposure therapy. I studied Eastern methodologies and applications, mindfulness, Vipassana Buddhism, Advaita, Taoism. I mean, everything. I've absorbed every single piece of literature that you could probably imagine on this topic, Robert. More than all of that, bigger than all of that, is I'm actually somebody who went through it, who experienced it. And I did the intellectual part, I did the study part, but I actually applied because I myself was going through this. It's almost like, how can somebody help you with something if if I'm going to help you build an online business and all I did was study a couple of marketing classes at a state university or college, I have a third of the knowledge that's needed to help you. How could I ever talk about online business if I didn't run my own online businesses, right? Mm-hmm. So I felt the same way. And I want to get into kind of depths of your kind of psychological impediments. I love the way you phrase that too, Robert. I did everything traditional medicine offered. I went to therapy. I took medicine. I took every medicine, every pill you can imagine. None of it worked. None of it worked, Robert. And I'm not saying that it doesn't work for some people. I'm not saying that it's not a viable solution for a lot of people. But the way that I've gone through this, I actually walked through the hell and fire and brimstone of this guy, and I walked out the other side. I feel I have a lot more to offer in a lot of ways than a clinician. But I mean, full disclaimer, I don't want you to take anything I'm going to say as full medical advice. And you always want to obviously, consult your practitioner or medical professional, obviously. But in a lot of ways, kind of on a side to that, I feel like I have a lot more to offer than those guys because 90% of them are coming from just an intellectual study capacity. And you and I both know, Robert, you can't run life. You can't learn life out of a book. You can't run a business out of a book. You can't, you can learn a lot through reading and writing and studying, but it's just not everything. So long story short, Robert, the first thing I really want to stress to you is I've gone through this. You're not alone. It's something that is going to be with you your entire life. And that is actually a good thing. I know that sounds crazy, but it's actually a good thing. And I'll tell you why. Because that, internal psychological barrier, that internal, I call him the eternal doubter, the guy that lives inside every single human being's brain. There's one in every single soul on planet Earth whose favorite words are "you suck, you can't, you're not this, you're not that enough. Who do you think you are to start your own brand, your own business? You don't have the experience, you don't have this." That lives in every single human being. But that dude, who, by the way, is a false prophet, who, by the way, is nothing more than an ephemeral ghost. He has no power over you unless you give him power. It's actually a good thing that he's there because he keeps you sharp. He holds you accountable, and anything worth doing has a lot of barriers, both external and internal. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And the fact that he's there, Robert, the fact that he's getting in your way shows me and tells me that you should actually be doing that even more. You should be accelerating even more on whatever that endeavor is. And I'm assuming, and I want to get more detail from you, what you're discussing is your ability to build your business and your brand, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me specifically. By the way, did anything I just say make any sense? Do you have any questions about what I just said?
Yeah, no, totally clear. Absolutely.
Okay, I love it. Okay, tell me. I want to hear from you. Oh, I'm so happy. And Robert, I just want to say something too. This is a completely different aside, but I believe that your objective of wanting to start your own business and consulting business and online business, I think this is literally, you're not going to believe me when I say this, Robert. I think this is the best time, even though we're going through a crisis right now. This is the best time. You're at the best age. This is the best thing that ever happened to you. Even this guy right here, which is going to sound crazy, even this guy right here getting in your way is the best thing that ever happened to you. One of the things I want you to do throughout this conversation, and one of the things that I want you to kind of keep in the back of your kind of chest, not your brain, but keep in your heart, is everything that's been offered to you, everything that's come your way was meant to come your way, including Professor Nez. This conversation was meant to happen on April 15th at 11:18 a.m. Pacific time. This conversation was meant to happen. You were meant to hear these words. When you start to shift your perspective around life, because a lot of us feel that when things, quote unquote, bad happen to us, or when we have these problems and challenges, we feel like it's unfair. We want our first initial reaction, our knee-jerk reaction is, why me? Our knee-jerk reaction is, this shouldn't be, why is this happening? I just want to simply do my own thing. I'm not trying to get in anybody's business. I'm not trying to start any trouble. I just really want to take care of myself. And it seems so unfair. Why me? Why me? I want you to shift your perspective. I want you to twist and bend your mindset around this absolute proverbial truth, capital T truth, which is all of these things that have arisen in your life were supposed to arise in your life. When you start saying yes instead of why me, when you start shifting your energy around, oh, okay, so what can I learn from this? Rather than, I can't deal with this. This shouldn't be, maybe this means I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. When you shift your energy around that, everything changes. I promise you. Start saying yes. instead of why me. And I mean yes to everything. Yes to the terrible, the tragic, the calamitous, the dark thoughts, the dark feelings. Say yes. Don't fight that. They're all here to teach you something. They were sent as guides to teach you something, Robert.
Okay.
And I'm telling you right now, I want you to start with a literal transformative energy shift. Shift your energy around, instead of giving it the energy, F you, screw you, stop bothering me, and I hate this, and why me? Shift your energy. This has changed my life dramatically, Robert. Shift your energy around. Let me look at this in a different light. Let me look at this in a different perspective. There's something here I'm supposed to learn. Maybe there's something here I'm supposed to garner from this, some kind of way of developing myself, of changing myself, of growing myself for the better, for the good. Does that make sense, Robert?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Please, I want to hear. I apologize. I want to hear more from you. I want very specific details, if you don't mind. And please
Um,
feel free to not. Don't worry about judgment. Don't. There's no judgment. My audience is fantastic. Anybody watching this is going to be completely grateful for you for having the courage to share this, Robert. And guess what? You're going to be changing lives just by sharing your truth. And by the way, Robert, really quickly, this is exactly what your brand and business should be about too. Transparency, being honest. I tell my audience all the time, I have a video right now on my channel where I literally talk about how I'm ready to give up and how I've been having a lot of doubts and and that's got the most like engagement out of any content, is your truthful content. So you're actually setting the foundation right now, Robert, for your brand. But please continue.
so a lot of the things that you said in our last meeting was really helpful. It really kind of pushed me past some of the limitations that I had mentally. Uh, but the ones that I really feel like I'm having is just uh, like the inability to sort of see some of the the things that I can do that that I shouldn't be doing, like the uh, just ex- um, I don't know. Maybe it's that I'm an introvert and I overanalyze things, so I can't articulate things instead of just you know overanalyze it. I should
Mm-hmm.
just. Uh, I think that's.
It's called analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
When you overanalyze so much and you overthink what you want to do so much, it literally turns into inertia. It literally turns into a metal, like a big cinder block on your chest, and just
Mhm.
stops you cold in your tracks. And I totally know where you're coming from. Tell me a little bit more, please.
Uh, yeah.
And don't
So.
worry about like finding the right words, Robert. I just want you to just spit your truth right now and just tell me what exactly, how it feels. Even maybe you don't even worry about like, I'll help you articulate it. And what's crazy is that you know, I already kind of know where you're going, but I want to definitely hear more from you, please.
I think it's like a blind spot or a subconscious thing. But it feels really good when you can just articulate something and not overanalyze it.
Yeah.
And I kind of know how it feels like to be there.
Mm.
And you said like being real, being real is really important. And I understand where you're coming from when you say that. And that's something that I feel I should be more of. Just be real and just do the things that uh, I feel can give other people more value without overthinking, uh, overthinking something, because then I can deliver my message in a more authentic way. And I
Yes.
would like to move closer towards that direction. But there is a lot of noise in between where I am and that point.
Yes.
So I was wondering if there was any exercises, any activities, or anything I should avoid or just do more of, because I know that I can get there, and I believe that mm, I'm the person that limits myself the most when it comes to just because it's like you said, it's about perspective and it's
Mm.
about belief,
Yes.
and I think it's lacking in that department, just belief.
Yeah. I mean, this is Robert. I want you to know. The fact that you care, the fact that you care that much, because I'm assuming the reason why you're overanalyzing, the reason, and you have to understand this. You have to understand this. I want this to be like cemented in your soul right now. The reason that you're having all this overthinking and analyzing and overanalyzing all of your message and your branding and how you're going to come across is because you actually care. It's a good thing. And the fact that you care, Robert, means you want it to be good. You want it to be, these are good things that you're going through. I promise you, with every fiber of my being, Robert, these are good things that you're going through. First off, it's a sign that you care, because any jerk can get up there and do it, right? Oh, I'll do it. I can do it, whatever. And they won't put any care. And then it comes across as very thoughtless. There's the other extreme. And then they wonder, and then they hire me and say, I don't know why I'm not getting views. I don't know why I'm not getting growth. I don't know why I'm not getting clients. I don't know why my business isn't expanding or my brand isn't becoming more of a, I'm not getting more awareness for my brand. Well, it's because you're not putting any care into it. You're just, there's the extreme of overthinking, and then there's the extreme of underthinking and under strategizing. And you got to be somewhere in the middle, where you're kind of caught up on all the way on one end. So I would rather you be caught up. I would rather you be in that extreme, because again, Robert, and this is just me reminding you, you already know all this stuff. This is just me reminding you. You already know. It shows that you actually care. You really are not in this to just, the fact that you invested in me means that you're not investing in me, you're investing in yourself, because you care, because you want this to be something that is actually going to have an impact. And the fact that you even have that care means you're going to be successful. I want to say that again, Robert. The fact that you have that, the fact that you actually care about the value that you bring to your ideal customer avatar, your ideal client, your ideal audience, your ideal community, means, and they're going to see that, Robert. And you share those struggles too. Share everything. Share the process. People think that you have to be this expert. People think that you have to be somebody who's already established to start building a business or a brand. There's nothing wrong with, actually, it's even stronger, because people can relate to that more by you sharing the actual unfolding, the process, the journey of that. And when I say journey, not just all the positive things. As a matter of fact, if you only showed the positive things, people would be like, this is unrealistic. Like, all of a sudden, this guy's just, everything's good. He started a business. He started making money. He started growing. He started There's no, like, the challenges, the tribulations are what people relate to. And that's more real anyway. Because what happens is people see somebody like me. It's like, wow, Nez, he has this amazing agency where he helps people with their personal brand and their career and their online business. Oh my God, like he's so smooth on camera, and the way that he talks and the way that he communicates. I mean, obviously, so this guy comes in, the guy inside your head, right, Robert? And he says, I can't be as good as Nez, or I can't be as good as whoever, pick anybody right out there. Pick, any business or any consultant, Tony Robbins, any speaker, I can't, there's no way I can be as good as that. He must be a natural. No, exactly wrong. I worked my absolute buns off. I worked my buns off, Robert. I sucked for 2 years straight, maybe even longer, maybe 5-10 years straight. I sucked. I was not good. You go look at my early content, back in 2015, 2016, never mind when I had my MySpace blog, 15, 20 years ago. You look at my early stuff, and I helped a lot of brands on MySpace with their music channel too. I mean, it was atrocious. I'm so embarrassed to even look at it. But guess what, Robert? You have to go through that to get to a level. It's just like everything, Robert. It's just like, you want to have a strong forehand in tennis, you're going to suck for a long time. You want to be a good pitcher, you're going to suck the first 10, 15, 11 years. You want to be a good business owner, you want to be a strong brand and create good content, you're going to suck the first 100 videos, the first 50 videos. That's just how it goes. And so here's what I would love for you to do to just think about this. This whole entire real kind of consultation, Robert, is all about, it's really all about perspective, but this is the healing perspective. Because once you have this perspective, it's going to alleviate any anxiety or fear of you. What you have is this sort of fear of imperfection, right? You have this, you're overthinking because you want everything to be perfect. Let me tell you something, perfection doesn't exist. And guess what? Your audience doesn't even, here's the beautiful part, Robert. Your audience doesn't even want perfection. The top Facebook ads, okay, the top content that performs performs the best on all of these platforms is content where it's kind of like really shaky camera work, and the audio's not the best, the lighting's not the best, sometimes the zoom is crazy, and
Yeah.
sometimes the person is not even like, it's way too close or it's
Right,
way too
right.
far. The
But that
production
makes it
value is
organic.
terrible. Why does that content perform the best? Because it's real.
Yeah.
That's why. Robert, you don't have to be good. You definitely don't have to be perfect. You don't even have to be okay right now. And don't compare yourself to anybody. As Henry Miller said, the great author, comparisons are odious. There's only one Robert Long in the history of mankind. There's only one Professor Nez in the history of the universe. There's only ever been one Robert Long. There's only ever been one you right now listening and watching. What does that mean? It doesn't mean that there's other people who are similar to you, but literally there'll never be another Robert Long who's exactly chromosome for chromosome, molecule for molecule, exactly like you.
Right.
And so what does that mean? That means that you've got this beautiful opportunity. You've got this beautiful chance. Don't let him win. Fire this dude's ass. The next time that overthinking, analyzing, should I do this? Should I do that? I want you to just stop. Take a deep breath. As a matter of fact, take 3 deep breaths through the nose and just hold that for 3 seconds. It's very simple. It's got such amazing effects to hyperoxygenate your blood. When you hyperoxygenate your blood, you're going to feel an alleviation of your nervous system. It's going to send a signal that triggers a calming effect by hyperoxygenating your blood. You know that feeling you get when after you exercise? That buzz you get, it feels such a good high. That's the result of red blood cells that have a high volume of oxygen because you're breathing more rapidly and more heavier during exercise. You can get that effect by deep breathing. Do not take this guy seriously. I'm not talking about your natural intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
Your intelligence for learning new things, learning how to drive, people's faces, phone numbers. I'm talking about your psychological mind. There's a difference, Robert.
Right.
The psychological mind, the guy that gets in your way, the guy that's always criticizing you, the eternal doubter. Does that make sense, Robert?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just I want you to really understand perspective. And that is this: your first 100 videos are going to be bad. Just like, it's just the same thing with writing too. Being a business communications professor, I also taught creative writing as well. And I used to tell my students all the time, your rough draft is supposed to be garbage. It's a rough draft. Well, I mean, look at amazing authors like J.K. Rowling. You look at amazing authors like Stephen King. Why is it that they go through hundreds of drafts before they publish their work? Because they're all bad.
Mm.
Education has it backward. Education, it's rough draft, final draft, which is ridiculous. That's only 2 drafts: rough draft and then final draft. It's completely unrealistic and completely disconnected from real world communications. Like these amazing authors, myself included, I have 7 books on Amazon. We go through thousands of drafts. Why? Because they all stink. They all stink. And that's part of the process. It's about having perspective. It's part of the journey. It's part of the process. Does that make sense, Robert?
Yeah. Yeah. I have a question for you. So,
Yes, please.
it feels like connecting with others like yourself really do help me improve in the direction that I would like. Do you have any advice on connecting with more like-minded sort of
Yes.
people who can
Yes.
sort of help me?
I absolutely love the way you said that. Yes. Definitely, definitely, definitely. There is a lot of different kind of one of the things that I would say one of the things that I would say is really important when it comes to this is networking is really big. Finding Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, where you can mastermind groups, where you can, and I'll actually, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to write this down, Robert, because I know you're on Facebook, correct? I want you to join our Facebook group. It's our personal branding mastermind.
Okay,
It's
okay,
usually a
yeah.
paid membership, but I'm going to give you free access. So
Oh,
what I want you to do is write down. Let me see if actually, you know what? I'm going to send you the link right now, and I'll leave a link in the description below.
okay.
Um, what I'd like to do is let me just send you the link here to this. It's facebook.com. Yeah, facebook.com/groups/Nez Nation. And I'm just going to send you a link right now. Are you on Facebook, Robert?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to send you the link right now through the chat. Um, I'll send it to you through the chat right now. And then you can just, what I want you to do is I want you to join that group. And that's a great group where, not only do you get more from me, but you also get a great community of people who are sharing and inspiring one another. And so I'd love for you to join that group. And then once you join that group, Robert, there's also a lot of masterminds that will pop up in your Facebook feed that are like kind of close to that or potential to that. But you might want to do a little bit of searching and researching because and some of them I'm a part of a paid mastermind of video creators and business owners. And I don't know if they're accepting new members right now. I'll find out for you, but it's a little bit pricey, but I'm willing to pay because masterminds have been amazingly effective and
Really?
powerful. When you have like-minded people that you can connect with and be inspired from, it's absolutely amazing. And I'll also send you a link to my Discord community too, Robert.
Uh-huh.
Are you on Discord at all, Robert?
No,
Okay. Have you ever heard of Discord?
I haven't.
Wait, say that again.
Oh, sorry, I haven't.
Oh, you haven't. Okay. So Discord is a great. It's interesting because Discord actually Discord actually started off as I think, and there's going to be probably a lot of people who would say otherwise, but Discord kind of started off as a kind of chat, a messaging app for gamers, I think, and I could be wrong about this, but it started off as a place. It was like kind of like it's kind of like what Facebook Messenger is to Facebook. Discord is kind of like Messenger for like Twitch streamers and gamers, I think. And so, but it's now become so big because it's such an easy to use platform. Because it's such an easy to use. Here, I'm going to actually generate a new link here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you this as well, and you probably just have to set up a Discord account. And I'll leave that link in the description as well. To our Discord community, Nez Nation, as well, because that's you said it best. A way to kind of get that continuous support is really really important, and I'm a big fan of masterminds, especially select masterminds. There's just like everything. There's a lot of them out there that are bad as well. I mean, I'm going to just be completely honest. There's a lot of them that can be bad. Okay, I see that you just asked to join. Is that correct? Okay, I just approved you in our group, and then yeah, start a Discord profile as soon as you can, and then I'd love for you to get into our Discord community too. And yeah, I always post a lot of helpful things that keep hopefully. I mean, I've gotten feedback that it's inspiring. stuff that kind of inspires creators, inspires business owners, just inspires everybody. The kind of mission statement for our community is bringing more humanness to this digitalness, where we can, and I love that. I love our mission statement because there's so much negativity around social media and online communities. I've met some of the most incredible, even more incredible than person people online, business owners, trainers, coaches, consultants, professionals, executives. We've got an amazing community here in our mastermind. So I already accepted you in our Facebook group, and then get into our Discord. And those are great places, Robert, to get that continual. Another thing, and I don't want you to think this is promotional, but if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, right, youtube.com/Professor Nez, I release videos every week talking about mindset and messaging. And Robert, again, this is not promotional because I want to be very, very clear. There's no sign up. There's no registration. You don't have to pay. It's all free. I'm not asking you to buy anything, but I'm telling you right now, I believe in my YouTube channel. I believe in my LinkedIn channel, and I share content. I've got an entire playlist on my YouTube channel called Mindset Mastery, which really can help in a long form way everything that we're talking about today. And don't forget too, Robert, if you're interested, only if you're interested, again, this is not promotion. I do retainer, services where you can have me be your personal coach on a monthly basis. And you can always contact me and we can talk about that later. But just in case, because I've hired coaches on retainer. As a matter of fact, I've got a business coach right now on retainer. I believe in it so much because we need somebody to hold us accountable. We need somebody to bounce ideas off of. And I mean, sad to say, like, as much as I love my friends and my family, there's really nobody there besides my wife that I can really talk to about what's going on in the online world and how am I doing and what I can do to get better. And so, yeah, I think hiring people like me is extremely, extremely important, and it helps. It's a major investment in your future. So only if you're interested, I mean, I just want to throw this out there, but if you're interested, like, hey, Nez, is it possible we could meet every week or we could meet monthly or what have you? We'll work something out. I've got packages for that, obviously, if you go to professornez.com, but we'll work something out. Nothing to worry about. So cool. I'm glad you're in that mastermind. Robert, does this, I want to be very, 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 very valuable to you. So I want to kind of still be very specific to you. Has anything that I've been saying, has this sort of made sense? This idea of, I want you to really have that perspective that you're overanalyzing, you're over caring, you're overthinking is a natural thing because you want it to be good. It shows me that you care, which you have the right intention, you have the right motivation, you have the right strategy. The only problem is the meter is a little bit too high.
Right.
It's almost like you have the heat too
Yeah.
high on that meter. You need to bring it down just a little notch. You know what I mean? Because I want you to execute. I want you to start creating. And here's the cool thing, Robert. You don't have to be slick. You don't have to be like Professor Nez, Tony Robbins. You don't have to compare yourself. You don't have to be a professional creator, video, audio. You just have to be, capital R, real. As a matter of fact, Robert, your first videos could literally just tell your audience, I'm building something new. And I'm going to tell you guys something right now. This is you right now speaking, Robert. I'm building something new. I'm going to tell you guys right now. I want this channel to be so helpful and so real. I'm going to be sharing everything I'm going through. I'm going to be sharing my entire process, my entire journey. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. On day one, I'm very nervous. I feel a lot of things going on in my head and my heart. I feel like, I've got a lot of obstacles and challenges that I'm facing right now, psychologically. Like, be completely honest. They're going to appreciate you. You're going to build a real community.
Yeah,
Because
that sounds really good.
people get followers and subscribers, and they think that, like, that's what it's all about. It's not about numbers. It's not about likes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about millions and thousands even. I know people who've built amazing businesses with less than 800 subscribers. I've known people who've built amazing businesses who barely have any likes or barely have any engagement on their social media posts because they've built a real audience, an audience of real people. You don't need a large audience to be really successful at this. All you need is the right audience. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. And as you get better, Robert, those two are going to marry each other. As the quality gets better, which I'm going to be, again, completely honest, expect to be very bad in the beginning, just like I was. I was atrocious in the very beginning. Expect it, your videos, your content to be bad in the beginning. And then as your quality goes up, you're going to see those two line graphs, quantity and quality, are going to start to merge. And the more people you're going to get in your group. But you might not even want this too. I mean, a lot of people, I get this from business coaches and consultants and what have you. Growth isn't always necessary. You don't have to always be growing. Sometimes it's okay to be satisfied with your level of awareness and your level of scale. You don't always have to be growing. People think you have to grow or else you're dying. It's not true. All you need to do is understand what's going to make Robert Long happy and then reverse engineer that. Find out what are the steps that are going to take you there. I believe by you being capital R real, by you creating consistent content that helps and serves your ideal audience, and you do that, I mean, on repeat, rinse and repeat, you're going to see major dividends, and you're going to see you're going to reap amazing rewards from that. Don't worry about views. Don't worry about likes. Don't let that discourage you. Keep going. The people who are successful are not the brightest and best. They just didn't quit. Literally, that's it, Robert. They're not even the most intelligent. They're not even the most bright. They're not even the most talented. The only difference between them and everybody else is they didn't quit. Because I know you've heard this stat before, 98% of businesses fail within the first year. I would say it's not fail is the wrong adjective. 98% of businesses quit within the first year. They could have been inches away from success, but they let this dude win. And so they quit. Or they didn't see results, which you're not going to see results. You have to literally, Robert, I'm not even kidding you. This is a long play. This is a long play. It's going to take years. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get success fast. Yes, you can. But if you really want to build something with longevity and sustainability, Robert, you need to always be thinking long term. Think 5-10 years. Don't think 12 months, 18 months. Think 5-10 years. And the more you focus on that, you will burn out a lot less, and you won't quit because you know already the expectation has been set.
Sounds good.
I'm so proud of you, man, Robert. Like, I can't even tell you, like, I would love to be your consistent coach, and maybe we could talk about something like that. But I'm telling you right now, Robert, and this is like so anti-business right now. This is so anti-selling. You really don't need me, because you know what, Robert? You know
You
what,
helped me
Robert?
so much.
You have everything you need, man. Like, I have so much faith in you. I have so much belief in you because you're coming from a place of sincerity and genuine care. You have nothing to worry about. You just have to stop listening to this guy and don't expect things to be perfect because it's impossible. Be real with your audience and be consistent. Again, one more time. Don't listen to this guy. Perfection doesn't exist. Serve your audience and be consistent. That's literally the 4-step formula. You do that over time, you're going to see amazing things happen.
Okay, so is there anything in my everyday real life that I can do to be more real, to tap into that, uh, like organic, more authentic side that, um, so that I can express that, uh, like, because I feel like I'm kind of shy. That's one of my biggest issues. So
Yes.
I don't mind going to, like, trying different things, like joining communities or doing, like, even public speaking, because I know I'm not good at it, but I'm willing to do that if it's going to take me to the next level.
You know what's funny is that introverts are some of the best business owners. Introverts are actually some of the most amazing speakers. It sounds really ironic, but I mean, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, all these, and there's a million more examples. These were all introverts. All these people were introverts. And so In the day to day, to answer your question more specifically, Robert, the best way to do that is to just, like I said, really, it's just to get it. It's just to show up. It's just to keep doing. And don't do it in a way that you feel other people are doing it. Don't try to be something you're not. The best way is just to keep doing it, is to keep showing up. And that's the day to day. The day to day execution is, research your topic, know your topic well. But I'm almost hesitant to say research your topic because I know you're going to overthink it and overanalyze it. So here's the cool thing. Like right now, Robert, everything that we're talking about, and I'm not saying this to brag, everything that we've been doing for the last, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I haven't rehearsed any of it. Now, how am I able to do that? How am I able to go speak in front of thousands of people and not rehearse one word? It's very simple. I don't talk about stuff that I don't know. I don't pretend to be something I'm not. I just bring myself and I stay within my own element. I don't talk about cross-fertilization. I don't talk about astrophysics. Why? Because I don't know anything about those things. But when it comes to communication, when it comes to mindset and messaging, I feel like there's nobody better than me on the planet. I truly feel that way. And where do I get that confidence? You can't manufacture confidence. But that's what you're talking about, Robert. You're talking about confidence. Confidence comes from experience. Confidence comes from overcoming small little challenges and baby steps. Okay. Confidence comes from getting up there and failing, because failing is the road to success, Robert. Getting up there, getting in front of the camera and being like this, Robert. I'm really nervous right now. But see that right there? It's bad, right? But guess what? It's supposed to be bad. You're just starting out. Now, if you were like this after 5-10 years of creating content, I'd be like, there's something going on here. But dude, Robert, for the next 18 months, for the next 24 months, you're supposed to be like this. Hi, I'm Robert, and I'm going to talk to you today about what are the best tips for learning code. And I think that's supposed to happen for the next 24 months. So Robert, again, how do you circumvent confidence? You cannot artificially manufacture confidence. Confidence comes from winning. And what do I mean by winning? I mean failing for 18 months, not quitting, and then noticing this progression. You're going to get better and better and more comfortable, just like anything in life. The more you do it, the better you get. Remember when you first worked, like I always use this example, Robert. Do you remember when you first got hired, like let's say like at a job as like a coffee shop or a restaurant, being a server? Like I used to be a bartender. I used to be a server 20, 30 years ago. And one of my very first jobs when I was 13 is I was the drive-through guy at Carl's Jr. So here's an example. The first day on the job, I was like this. Where are the cups? Where's the cash register? Where's the broom? I was a lost puppy dog, right? Because you're new. You didn't know where anything was. You didn't know how things worked. You didn't know what button was, extra large, right? And then after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, after a month, I'm a pro. I know where everything is. I know where all the buttons is. And then you see that new guy get hired and you see that look in their eyes and you go, man, that was me not that long ago. I remember when I didn't know anything. I remember when I didn't even know what button to push. I remember when I didn't know where the cups were, where the broom was, where the microphone, where I'm supposed to push to talk to the guy in the drive-thru. But the point I'm trying to say, the anecdote that I'm illustrating here, Robert, is it's the same thing with everything. The initial phase, the first beginning phase, you're a lost puppy dog. But as you do it, and you do it scared, it's okay to do it scared. It's okay to do it without being perfect and without knowing everything about audio, video, content production, execution. Just do it. Execute. Get in front of that camera. You already have a great audio. You already have great setup. You just have to get out of your own way. That's all you got to do, man. And so the more you do it, then it's this natural, beautiful thing called confidence starts to evolve and formulate on its own. So here's what you do every day, Robert. I want you every day, and you don't have to publish it, just every day, I want you to get in front of that camera, get in front of that audio microphone, and just speak to the camera, look into the camera, watch all my videos, by the way, because they're going to help you, and be really, really bad for the next 18 months. And know that Professor Nez says it's okay to suck the first 18, 22 months. But I promise you, you're not going to suck. What I'm just saying is that expect them to be bad. They're going to get better over time. And then you're going to build this natural confidence. And then you and I are going to have this conversation in 3 years, and we're going to laugh at April 15th, 2020. In 2023 and 2022, you and I are going to have the same call right here, and we're going to laugh about April 15th, 2020. Do you remember when I was first starting out, I had no clue what I was doing? Yes, because I was there too.
Good.
I'm telling you right now, Robert, I want my confidence to bleed in you right now. I have so much faith in you because you care. I have so much belief in you because you have the right intentions. Just get in there and you need to dance. You need to start dancing. The only way to become a better dancer is to dance. Don't think about the steps. Don't think about the moves. Don't overanalyze what you're supposed to do and where your toe is supposed to be. Don't overanalyze, am I wearing the right thing? Am I moving the right way? Just dance, stumble, trip, and fall. And eventually with time, just like everything, you're going to become the next, forget that guy's name. Who was that great dancer? I totally forgot his name. What was that guy's name? Do you know who I'm talking about? The great dancer? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I forgot. If you know the dancer, leave it in the comments. But you're going to become a great dancer.
Okay.
You can read and study. It only goes so far, but you have to get out there, stumble and fumble and fall. And then, only then, will you become a beautiful dancer. So I hope that makes sense. Does that make sense, Robert?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Does that help at all? I mean, does that kind of?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Do you have any other questions or anything at all I can help
with? Question. I guess this has to do with confidence, but sometimes I feel like I'm not accepting of the side of myself that I can potentially be. I don't know if that makes sense. Like. Because
you don't believe that you have the right to be at that level.
Yeah, like
you don't have the you know what you have, Robert, which is so beautiful in a lot of artists and a lot of introverted people and a lot of quiet, shy people. And I just want to say right now, shy people rock. I love shy people. I'm serious when I say this. Like, I'm not obviously a shy person, but my wife, who is a billion times smarter than me and a billion times more talented than me, is a shy person. And I know you've probably gotten this a lot, Robert, because she gets this every day of her life. She probably gets this whenever we go out or whenever we're around people or what have you, or family. Why are you so quiet? How come you don't talk? Why are you so quiet? It's because she doesn't feel the need to fill the air with useless BS words just to feel comfortable. Have you ever gotten that before, Robert? Have you ever gotten that, like, why are you so quiet? Have you ever gotten that before?
Yeah.
It's a BS question. The only reason that they're saying that is because they're uncomfortable and they can't appreciate silence. Silence is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to talk. Screw you. Why am I so quiet? Why are you so talkative? Why do you talk so much? Mm-hmm. Are you that insecure that you have to just fill the air with useless words? And when my wife talks, Robert, the world stops, because when she talks, she means it, right? And so, Robert, I have such a high esteem. Anybody who's watching and listening, I have a high esteem, Robert, for people like you. Shy people rule the world. I love shy people. And so I want you to know that. And secondly, this is the thing. This hard time accepting, that I should be there, that I should, maybe I'm just meant to be a coder at a company and not get into all this stuff. That is, again, this guy right here, the eternal doubter. Mm-hmm. And that is a beautiful challenge. I want you to look at that as a beautiful challenge, because if it was easy, anybody could do it. It is difficult, but it's supposed to be difficult. There's nobility in that struggle. Robert. And as you topple that challenge, as you circumvent that challenge by executing and understanding that it's going to be bad and not letting that guy win, the triumph you're going to feel, the level of accomplishment, that beautiful feeling that's going to surge through your body and your chest when you didn't let this guy win. Oh my God, it's going to be the best. It's going to be the best feeling ever. And it's going to be real. It's going to be natural. It's not going to be artificial, because it's not based on what other people are telling you. It's not based on what society thinks of you. It's based on how you feel about yourself. Because only you know what challenges you're facing. Every single human being on earth has some kind of burden that they can barely explain to other people. Every single human being has problems. Every single human being has challenges. When you get that internal challenge and you overcome that internal challenge, that validation is way more important, way more significant, way more longer lasting than any external challenge or what society thinks of you or your friends or your family, because they can't go to sleep with you at night. Nobody can sit in your shoes. The world can't, when it's you staying up all night worried, staring at that ceiling, and it's just a dark room, you, the ceiling, and God. Nobody's there. Will Smith isn't there. Kardashian isn't there. Trump isn't there. Your friends aren't there. Your family isn't there. It's just you. And that's a good thing, actually. So again, understanding that these internal challenges are necessary, understanding that these internal challenges are okay. It's a part of your growth. It's a part of your evolution. It's a part of your development. Holy macadamia nut. Watch what happens, Robert. And so don't worry about accepting whether you should or should not be there. Don't listen to that guy. Um, just do it. And what is that? And also dissect what that even means. Actually, you know what? Take that back. Don't even dissect what it means. But I'll tell you right now, why not you is the better question to ask. What's the difference between you and what's the difference between you and Bill Gates? What's the difference between you and Mark Zuckerberg? What's the difference between you and any of these amazing programmers at Microsoft, Samsung, Amazon, Oracle? What's the difference between you and any of these consultants? The only difference is that they didn't let this guy win. That's all. They're not any better than you. They're not more talented than you. The only difference is they didn't quit. They just kept going. There's a famous quote from Winston Churchill: when you find yourself walking through hell, when you find yourself walking through fire and walking through the hell of life, just keep going. Don't stop. And I'm telling you right now, it's the most wise words you'll ever hear. Just keep going. Just keep going. The key is movement. The key is movement. Don't try to interpret it. Don't try to give it too much significance. Okay. Because I want to leave you with this, Robert, because this is so important. These are just thoughts. These are just thoughts. They don't mean anything. They can't live without you giving them attention. They get energized by your attention. So nothing can live without you. These are just passing thoughts, especially the anxietal thoughts that have, they come and go out of nowhere. They just come and go out of nowhere. The only way they can bother you, the only way they can stay and keep coming back, is if you energize them with attention. So the next time those thoughts come, I want you to think of Professor Nez and say, you know what, I'm not going to listen to you. You can be there. Don't fight him. Don't say don't come, because that just gives him more energy. But just simply let him be there and let him do his thing and let him go. And don't give him any significance, because they're just thoughts. The average human being has 50,000 thoughts a day, Robert. And 90% of them are rubbish. They're garbage. So it's just another thought. And then last thing, Robert, a thought cannot live without you, but you can live without a thought. So which is greater? A thought cannot live without you giving it attention, but you can live without that thought. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, in a real way, Robert, those thoughts that come, especially when you get that feeling of, ugh, and it's heaviness, it's a heavy thought, and it weighs on you, and it makes you feel anxiety. It makes you feel less motivated, less inspired. those are the thoughts that you should give the least amount of significance to. The thoughts that uplift you, the thoughts that give you energy, the thoughts that are more true to your nature, those are the thoughts that are meant to be there. Those are the thoughts that you should give energy to. And as a matter of fact, if it's a good thought or bad thought, it makes no difference. I don't want you to really focus on either one. I want you to focus on your mission, because the only way this is going to work, Robert, is if you have a mission. The only way this is going to work, Robert, if you have an overarching objective that is not just money, it's not just likes, it's not just subscribers, but something more powerful and something more impactful. And my biggest thing is, I'll tell you an example of mine. My biggest thing is that I absolutely love, more than anything, to inspire people to take action and change their lives. I don't know why. I'm not saying I'm good. I'm not saying I'm better than other people. I'm not saying I'm this or that, but that gets me going. That gets me motivated. And the ironic thing is, Robert, the more you have that why and you answer that why, the money will come. It's a weird irony. Like, the more you keep your intention, the more you keep an eye on the prize and don't focus on the peripheral ridiculous things, the money will come, the prestige will come, everything else will come. But focus on serving first, focus on your overarching objective and goal, and beautiful things will happen. I promise you.
Sounds good.
All right, man. Hey, this is what I want you to do. Some immediate steps I want you to take, Robert. I want you to start creating. I want you to start creating your podcast, creating your video content. I want you to start talking about what you can offer, what kind of help you can offer to your ideal audience, which your ideal audience should be people who could use your services, people who could actually use your expertise in coding, software, programming, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so start creating, and I expect it to be bad. I expect it to not be good. If it's even one molecule good, you're already ahead of the game. So just have that expectation that it's not going to be this amazing piece of content. It's just not going to be. It won't be for a while. You'll get there, but not immediately. So immediate steps, I want you to start creating content.
Okay.
I want you to start building this thing. And then I'm here if you need me. If you want to share, hey, Nez, I took a look at this. I'd love some feedback. Share me a link. I'm happy to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
man.
Thank you for
No,
all
you're
the
absolutely welcome,
opportunities.
brother. As always, Robert, it's such a pleasure. And, I really mean this when I say this. You have what it takes. Please know this. And the fact that you care is the ultimate driving force. And you're going to get better. And so I just wish you all the success. I wish you everything that's coming to you. And I'm here for you if you need anything, okay?
Definitely.
All right, fantastic.
Definitely in the future.